Greetings, fellow tubers. 'Tis I, Gary Dane, and welcome to something new that I'm going to be running parallel with my Battletech. Citizen Sleeper. Now, this is something that showed up in one of my Steam one moment while I, remember what the hell those are called. In one of my discovery queues. And I thought it looked really interesting. This is going to be a completely blind playthrough, because as you can see, this is the first time I've ever opened it. No previous games, nothing. This is, pretty much role-playing in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. I have zero idea what this game is about. I haven't watched any videos or anything. But, I'm gonna go here and be with you guys through this. So, apparently we can pick a character class here. All of these are sleepers. So, expect Dune references to Shai Hulud, because I'm a geek. Works with drones and high-precision remote machines, perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise. Chance to gain cryo and interface actions. We'll gain interface, lose endure. Okay, we have an operator, we have an extractor, giving us endure but lower intuit. Often in hard vacuum environments, sleepers assigned extractor are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level endurance. Photosynthetic skin. Sunbathe, dice action allows energy recovery at home. Interesting. Oh, and we have a machinist, which gives engineer lower engage. Repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Diligent, careful, and structured. Chance to gain random scripes on engineering actions. So here we have M45, O21, and Frame Sleeper O21, Frame Sleeper O21, Frame Sleeper M45. Interesting. So it looks like operators and extractors run similar frames compared to the machinist. That deep bass rumble you hear in the background is my brother moving a very large vehicle. So, I think I'm going to be an operator. First thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. Leap into a cold lake on a hot day, sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip, All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. An emergency mode pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the others. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. You'll try to rest. But you're restless. It's been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but even then your body has shut many of its systems down to protect you. You've spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again, recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of his presence. Your joints release from the rigor. Sound, too, everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold. Then softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Dragos. Pragmatic scavenger. Salvager. Been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. "So, sleeper, you all thawed yet?" Yes, that is Dragos' voice now. "Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky." Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. Won't ask what led you to do it. Sell yourself to a corporation. I suppose that you know you can't go back. Your old body is theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot. A copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S&R wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well then no one can. You remember that too? At least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. We'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. It's an old freighter container I've been using as storage out in the shacks. Haven't been putting in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet and nod. Alright, you head on up there. Look like you need some rest. With that, Dragos stalks back into the wrecks, his drone already converging on a rusting hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. And now we're into the tutorial. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container, location to rest, and end the cycle now. My home. For now. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. There's going to be a lot of reading in this one. Try and keep them roughly to a cycle or two, depending on how long that runs. You wake curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. Contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. The web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking that they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Alright, condition, action dice, and energy. Represents the current state of your artificial body, depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Alright, at the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the less dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. And energy. Also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food and currency to buy it. Energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving, and your condition will deplete at a doubled rate per cycle. Alright, so let us leave my little shack. Dragos has stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset. In the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. Drone sits on his shoulder, his cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Not good, the drone chirps. Dragos nods. You notice that beneath Operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value. But most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? These? Pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo isolated from the market. That's what we used to trade out here. Stuffs it back in a pocket. Tells her feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this in my opinion. You'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well... But things being the way they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Happy to. Okay. Pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Nods distractedly, turns and walks away. The drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Alright, so, Dragos' yard. Alright, actions. Primary way you can interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. Perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. We have repeatable actions, and... okay. Actions award you with clock progress, energy condition, or items, depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcomes. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Dice. Action dice affect the outcomes as follows. 6s are 100% chance, 5s are 50-50, 4s and 3s are 25 positive, 50 neutral, 25 negative, 1s and 2s are 50-50 neutral neg. Okay. Try to avoid 1s and 2s if possible. Type, either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be repeated once. Either safe, risky, or dangerous. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. So dump 1s and 2s into the safes. Negative outcomes means cryo energy loss. Dangers, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral can mean cryo or energy loss. Skill that this action requires, either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. The modifiers, either a -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Okay. So... debt called in and back in business. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things can get nasty. Back in business, every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. Okay. So, we're taking a -1 here. We're going to put the 6 into you, and the 4 into you. Manual salvage or hull dissection. Nah, we're going to run this one, 100% positive, on a risky. Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. Start this action. Tutorial clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your progress and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something, good or bad, is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' dead, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Alright, easy enough. Double positive and back in business and some cryo. We're going to slot... We're going to keep running hull dissection here because we're not very good at manual salvage then. What is data? We don't have data. But we do have some cryo. Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive via the arrow button, top of the screen. You're now free to explore Erlen's Eye and make life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Mouse wheel, or W and S to scroll along the station. Rotate with A and D. Good luck. Aha! Super positive outcome. So, we're going to run that. Find a doctor. Alright, let's leave this. Oh, buddy boy. Alright, so what do we got here? Dear Lord, there's a lot of crap. Alright, so we have the shipyard. We have a Rotunda wet dock. We have the Rotunda. And we have Dock B2. We have the Bright Market. And the low-end gate. So, Bright Market has where our doctor is. Our operator here. Hey! We have no upgrades. Okay. Interesting. So, we are going to head to the Bright Market. Find us a doctor. Local knowledge. Engage and intuit. Dangerous and risky. Should have saved some of the 6s then. We'll explore the market, it's the less risky of the two. Neutral outcome. That is not good. That low one. And there is Sabine. Next comes a call from the enforcer at the door. Shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. Keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue. Try not to bring attention to yourself. You're thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying half block, they all have made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few. And without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. Try to find something to distract yourself. We'll look inside. Lean against the doorframe, look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. Lean in, see amber light flickering through a far doorway. Screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. Enforcer jerks this and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through a plastic sheeting at the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. Floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of bright-marked concealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. For a moment, you're transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, comes a sharp voice. You see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. Make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash against their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to open a case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a complete diagnostic scanner of some kind in her hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Tone is clipped and businesslike. Stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably edged across their face. How long have you been on the station? I asked, scanner tilting your eye. A few cycles. You nod. It's good that you came to me. I said, diagnosed the scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. Take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. You say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNARP remains the sole producer of. You look up. Sound familiar? Yeah. Good. That may help. Swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. Feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you're unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the circuit systems. You have no rights, no status. Focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing to say something. Anything. Turns to face you. I may be able to help, they sigh. You see the darkness under their eyes, the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They're influential and low-end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But yet again has connections. Smugglers from the Starward Belt. Mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sets down their slate. Their note's complete. This is dangerous. And it'll be expensive. But I think we can do it. Why help me, Doc? Walks to the way to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, look back up through the panels of the roof, see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. Duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay then. So. What do we have here? What do we have on Dock B2? A salvage sortie. We don't have anything we can do here. The Rotunda. Steal dock plans or explore the Rotunda. Leave that be, Dock C4. Nothing here. And there's Sabine's surgery. I'm not running that with it too. What is this? This is the shipyards. Assist the shipbuilder. Haul materials. Go ahead and leave. We're going to continue wandering the dark market. We're going to run that as a 2. 50-50. Please don't be. Oh, alright. I'm out of dice. Back to my crappy little container. Complete active scenes. Ooh, a street food vendor. Memphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movement, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red fleck dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Approach. We need food. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn. You shuffle to the front. Memphis speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First try is free. No, thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you. You sleepers, Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. Glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You can tell him about your journey to the eye. And he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility, and its sudden arrival. Tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the endless cycle spent within it. Now, it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had, but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you. You're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. Places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time, we can talk some more. He smiles. But next time, you pay. Slams a heavy hand against the button of burner side and shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. Waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. I got a new drive. Get to know Emphy. Alright, we can do that. However, can I end the day? We can end the cycle. Rest and prepare for the next one. We're gonna be down another dice, so we'll only have 3. But at the very least, we won't be starving. We could go 2 days without food. And so we rest. Gorgeous. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station. Like a web of texture in a smooth, black liquid. Observe it. Don't touch it, we don't know what it is. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see or feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It is a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It is an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory, all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling you in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling to this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you. A shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind. A storm of connective nodes, waiting to be explored. And then it is gone. Oh god, triple ones. Oh, this is not going to be a good day. However, we're going to have to end it here, guys. I'm loving this. This is fantastic. But, you guys, feel free to leave any comments, questions, criticisms down underneath the video. Like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. But this has been Gary Dean. Thank you guys for joining me, and I shall see you guys next time.